And then we have Ravel Vinant Oudendal saying good evening all. Yes. Madge, how have you been? How has the start of 2021 been for you?
I've been well, Tess. I think like everybody, life and vitality and abundant life has just got so much of a more meaning and a bigger meaning. So I'm one of those that are actually excited about 21. I saw a meme recently on Facebook that said, everybody, can we just enter 21 quietly? Nobody makes any eye contact. Just sit down and don't say anything. So I'd like to think, you know what? Let's start off excited and be expectant for what this year brings. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've rested enough. I've isolated enough. I'm ready for 21.
That's fantastic. I just see Pastor Mariana saying, hi, everyone, excited about tonight. Denise Harris, saying good evening, Madge Blignaut. And Marlene hashtagging some people in, well done. And Lorraine LaRue, welcome this evening. So tonight we're going to be discussing, as I mentioned from the start, we're going to be discussing Project Hope. And for those that don't know, Project Hope actually had quite a busy 2020. But before we tap into that, Madge, would you maybe tell, for those that don't know, where did Project Hope start and how long has it been going for?
Sure, I will. Let me just quickly say hi to somebody because I saw the name coming up, Nolene Bua. I'm so excited that Nolene is with us tonight. For those who don't know, Nolene runs a soup kitchen in the extensions area, and we've been able to just help Nolene this year, and she's doing such a fantastic job there on her own, feeding children, feeding the community, clothing them. So I just wanted to shout out to her, Nolene. Thank you, Nolene. So yes, so Project Hope, and also Pastor Mariana is online. So Pastor Mariana is the visionary and founder of Project Hope. This year we are 21 years old. Can you believe it? We are finally an adult. We are mondig. And so we're excited. We're wanting to celebrate our 21 years of God's faithfulness. So God spoke to Pastor Mariana about the children in the northern areas and gave her a vision and gave her the word that, take the word of God to the children in the northern areas. And so what we initially did is we went into the areas and we started Sunday schools. We started outreach Sunday schools in different venues within the northern areas. And we really saw children that are, unchurched, basically. There were children whose parents doesn't belong and children who needed, what we were bringing. And so we started off with that. And currently we've got 4 venues within the northern areas, and where we've got volunteers that go out every Sunday. And we do Bible-based word teachings, life skill teachings to the children. We present the teachings to them. And then we also give them a plate of food. We give them a full meal for the day. And, often many of our children, many of the areas that we go into, they don't have the privilege that we have of a nice Sunday lunch. So we are so blessed that we are able to do that. So currently we've got about 300 children registered in our Sunday school program. And then from there, the rest of our program started. After our Sunday schools, we started taking our older children on camps once a year, annual camps. So what we'll do is we'll take the boys on a camp, and then we'll take the girls. And these are focused on just spending quality time with those children. So we would take up to 80 boys, 80 girls, and with a group of volunteers, and we get to spend that weekend with them, just loving on them, teaching them about God's purpose and plan for them. And we've got various things that we do with them, and you can just imagine it's an absolute highlight. And I'm always reminded working at Project Hope that there's so many things that we take for granted. And one of the things we take for granted is just being able to go away for a weekend. So for many of these children, they don't do that. And so when they go away for that weekend, it is for the first time they actually have time to themselves. So we really value that weekends, those 2 weekends. And so we've got Sunday school, we've got our leadership camps, and then we started doing our annual Christmas party, where we bring all our children from the Sunday school venues, we bring them all together, and we have an annual Christmas party. And last year during lockdown, we had a bit of a different Christmas party where instead of bringing the children together, we still made sure each child received a gift. We still made sure that each child received a party pack because it's a party, and each child received a lunch. But instead of having a party, we went and we dropped it off for them. So all our volunteers that work in the various areas, we went on a Saturday, spent the day, and just went out and blessed the children with the gifts. And I'll share some of those testimonies later. It will warm your heart and it will bring a tear to your eye, I'm sure. So yeah, so we do our Christmas. So it's the third one we do is our annual Christmas party. Then from there, God really started speaking to me that one of the needs that stood out in our area were for a after school center. And so we planted our first homework club in the branch Bloemendal area. And we are so blessed to be able to do it in the branch building, and where children can come after school. So any time between 2 and 5 o'clock, they can come, and we've got volunteers there that will help them with their homework. So in a controlled environment, they're able to sit down and focus on their homework. And, out of that, we saw another need, and that is that our children struggle to read. Tess, it was one of the most heartbreaking things to see a child who is in grade 4, grade 5, and still can't read basic grade 1. And so we started our little library and reading hours where they would come and we would get them to sit and read for half an hour, because we really wanted to introduce them to the world of reading, and make reading fun. And so, yes, so we are so excited. So those are our Sunday school, homework club, camps, Christmas party. And then we discovered our little ones felt a little bit left behind, because our age group ranges from 3 to 13. So we had our little ones, 3 years old to 6-year-old, felt very neglected and left behind. So we decided to take our little ones out every year. So we would get a bus, put them all in a bus, and we would take them to Homely Farm for the day. And boy, oh boy, those little 3-year-olds just light up, because again, somebody is focusing on them for the day. They get to go away from their circumstances. And so we get volunteers and we get some of the parents to go with us, and we just spend a day just loving on them, loving on our little ones. So those are the things. So that when we say Project Hope, in a whole full Project Hope basket, and also then, of course, with our homework club, I must just say this, with our homework club, we've got about 200 children registered. So altogether in our basket, we look after 500 children.
That is absolutely amazing. And I mean, just listening to it, it sounds like you have quite a busy week on your hands doing this day to day, But talking about 2020, I know that 2020 threw everybody with a bit of a curveball, but I know that with Project Hope, it birthed something that I don't think in hindsight it would have ever opened a door for that. Can you tell us how 2020 affected Project Hope?
Sure. So with all of that I just explained, when 2020 happened and all the lockdown regulations happened, we couldn't do any of those things. How strict level 5 was. And so initially it took us for a bit of a loop. And, because now suddenly we're not able to do what we normally do. And suddenly we're not able to get to our children, to love on them and to just be with them and encourage them and speak to them, especially during this time. So in the beginning, and now you must also know, running an organization like this, you need to have your plans achter mekaar. You need to have your planning in place. And we had our calendar ready for 2020. We had our campsites. We need to book our campsites a year ahead. We had our campsites ready. We had our themes. We had everything ready for 2020. And we were also going to celebrate our 20 years, our 20th birthday. And then, of course, like everybody else, when lockdown happened, we literally had to close that calendar and put it away. It wasn't relevant anymore. But as lockdown happened and as we got through the first level 5, I got so many calls from people saying we don't have food, we don't have a way to feed our families. So many people weren't able, because we're not able to go to work. There's no means of income, so unfortunately for a large part of our communities, no work, no pay. And a lot of them were retrenched as well. And a lot of our children are now where they could go to school and maybe receive. Some of the schools have got feeding schemes in place. So a lot of the children will receive a meal at school. And now because they're not at school and they are at home, they weren't getting that meal. And so we decided, so we got up and we got together and suddenly this whole new thing, ways and means for us to be a blessing opened up, and we started getting involved with the food parcels. And our initial plan was to obviously, Project Hope is all about children. And so our initial plan was to make sure that our children have got food, our children and their families. So we initially just started doing food parcels for children, specifically designed for children. And included in that, we had activity books. We designed activity books for them because now they cut off and they're at home, and parents will be able to testify here. They get bored. So we thought
Yeah.
yeah, this is a great opportunity for us to just put an activity book together. So each child received an activity book. Each child received a food parcel with just the basic food things in each child. And because we're children, we made sure that they get their party packs. And each child also received masks. So that was it. Initially started off with just food parcels for the children. And then soon the need became bigger and bigger. I mean, for us as an organization, it was overwhelming. The need, the cry, literally the cry test that rose up and came to our ears was just help us, somebody help us. And so I know for a fact that there were so many other organizations within Port Elizabeth that were out there doing things, doing amazing things. I belong to a WhatsApp group with over 100 different NGOs. And I tell you, during lockdown, that WhatsApp group was busy. We were busy, we networked, and we got involved. And so for Project Hope, what I quickly needed to just get myself organized, got some volunteers together, drivers, got permits, because remember, level 5 and level 4, you couldn't go outside if you're not an essential worker. So I had to organize permits, and we quickly got involved with food parcels. And you know what? One of the things, Tess, that I was just so impressed that God just showed me very early on was that in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of people struggling, something was unleashed over the city, and that was generosity.
Yes.
We saw generosity. Like, I would frequently just have tears in my eyes. We had farmers phoning us with vegetables. We had private business people phoning us with donations. We received bucky loads of bread. People wanted to give. People brought groceries, and I would just make a call, and people would just respond. And it was overwhelming. So there was, on the one side was the need, and on the other side was just this generosity that a wave of generosity, if I can call it that, that
I
was
think,
unleashed over the city. And we were so blessed that we were in the middle of all of that.
I think we've got some photos. Do you want to share them now, Madge? Because I think
Yeah.
we do have some of that generosity in there.
Yes. So what we did is, with our newsletter, we we managed, we sort of got all our numbers together to just show people. So all those who have been given, if you've even if you just gave 1 ton of baked beans, you were involved. I mean, look at that. Over 6,000 food parcels were delivered in the city. I think we did something like 75 suburbs all over the city, from
Sure.
Booysens Park to Summerstrand to south
Wow.
to west. We were all over. Yeah, there with our Christmas party, we managed to give to 320 children, which was our Christmas party drop off, which was also just so overwhelming. And I'll share some testimonies about that later on. That was our Christmas party. We reached, with our food parcels for the year, we reached 1,230 children. And those are food parcels specifically for children.
Wow.
And yeah, and I also just want to add, like I said, we there was about 3 soup kitchens that we also sponsored. So we would buy them vegetables, we would buy them soup, we would buy them whatever they need to do. And those soup kitchens, in a day, they could easily get up to 200, 300 children. If we were given at one stage 5-10 kg porridge, the maize meal porridge, that we could give to two of the soup kitchens, and children could eat porridge. Again, I'm reminded of things that we take for granted. I take my porridge for granted in the morning, but there are literally children out there that don't even have porridge in the morning. So we were able to do that as well. So we've got the over 6,000 food parcels, and included in that are not even our soup kitchen stats, so it's a lot. It's an overwhelming amount of people, because of the generosity of the city, because of the generosity of people. Individual people, families reached out to us, businesses reached out to us. So yeah, in
So
in spite
essentially,
of, excuse
so
me.
essentially you were saying, I was just thinking now that you were saying in the beginning that you had 500 children, and now you've shown that this last year alone you've doubled that.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
and if you think about it, and I'm listening to all the stories, and I remember seeing the pictures. I mean, myself and Madge were in the staff group, and often we would, Madge would share what was going on, and I'm pretty sure if you go look at the Project Hope Facebook page and you are following that, you would have seen packets and packets of food, seeing the trucks deliver butternuts and dropping off oranges, and whatever the case may be, I can testify to just witnessing that generosity that took place. And just a side question, Madge, the generosity that came in, I would say it didn't come from your usual source. Most of it didn't come from your usual sources. I mean, you have steady givers and people and that sow into Project Hope. But would you say that this opened a door to many more potential givers for Project Hope in the future?
Absolutely. The more we spoke about it and showed people, the more people reacted. And we've got our faithful givers, they just continue to give. More people gave. But there's one particular instance, and I remember late Pastor Jimmy, because Pastor Jimmy was just so excited for every rand and 5 rand and 100 rand that came in. But there was an amount that came directly into the Project Hope account, and it was an amount of 50,000 rand. And nobody phoned me to ask for details. There was no name attached to it. Up until today, I have no idea who that person was. And if that person is watching, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Your money went towards feeding all of these people. And, we are so other people that I don't know, companies, corporates, private people, I would often have to drive and collect groceries from families that I personally don't know who this person is, but they reached out and with groceries. And I remember one particular, if I can just share one testimony, if I can just go ahead, one particular incident. On the same day, I went and I collected groceries at somebody's house. I don't know who the person is. It was just a WhatsApp. And I went to their house and I picked up the 3 bags of groceries. And I remember he said to him, you know what, I've got some other stuff here that's not on your list, but I'm giving it to you. I don't know if you will be able to use it. And in the bags was a 1 liter of Nesquik. I remember that. And it was banana flavored Nesquik. And from his house, I went to a house and I had prepared 2 food parcels prepared and ready that I delivered to a family. And so I decided just on the spur of the moment to add the Nesquik to the prepared food parcels for this family. And when I got to this family, you know, the mother, when she saw the Nesquik, tears were in her eyes because she said, you know, this is such a treat to my children. And they actually asked for Nesquik. And she said, I didn't even have money for bread. You know, and she felt so guilty. I can't even buy bread for them. Where am I going to get Nesquik from? And here we came with a tin of banana flavored Nesquik. It was just amazing how God was just in the giving. You know, God knew every family that we handed a parcel to. God's hand was in it. So we saw all these little miracles happening in front of our eyes, and we were so privileged to be able to be part of those miracles.
Wow, I'm just thinking now, I know that 2020 alone, you could probably write a whole book on with testimonies and challenges and everything like that. And before we touch a bit more on 2020's testimonies, I'm sure that you have quite a few testimonies of just like what Project Hope has achieved in its 21 years. Is there any particular testimonies that stand out to you?
Oh, there's quite a few. You know, since we've been in the areas and we've been busy for 21 years. We've seen many of our children growing up now and becoming adults themselves and becoming parents themselves. And, you know, it just warms our heart when we have a young girl, a young lady. And in Helenvale, we've got a young lady who came, and she was one of our children. She was 5 years old when she came to Project Open. She grew up with us and, you know, grew up and started working, is now working. And she is a mom herself. And then one day she brought a little boy to us at Helenvale. And, you know, and I didn't recognize her initially. And then she said, this is my son, and I want you, please, to teach him everything you taught me as well. And that, you know, that was just so special for us. So, because now it's like we're busy, you know, giving the values, godly values to a whole new generation. That was beautiful. And then we've got some of our youngsters who've now grown up and are married themselves and are in church, loving and serving the Lord. One of our, we've got Pastor Randy Hoffman, who is the youth pastor at the branch and is also our children's church supervisor. And Randy and his wife, Nikki, are just my right hand and my left hand, literally. You know, Randy grew up within Project Hope as well. He came as a teenager, and we trained him up as a leader, Sunday school leader, you know, and now he's full-time in ministry. So it's so exciting to just see the development and how they grow up. You know, we've got a youngster that came to us one day. I was privileged to go. I was in also, again, to mention Helenvale. A young boy came the one day while they were busy Sunday morning, and he came and he said he was about 15, 16. And he came to the teachers there, and he said to the uncle, the late Gerald Armut and his wife, they were there, Elise. And anyway, so this young man came to them and said, I just want to come to say thank you to Project Hope. And so they didn't recognize him immediately. And he said that he is on his way to Bloemfontein and that he received a scholarship at Grey Bloemfontein to go and play rugby for them. And he just wanted today, before he leaves the next day, he wanted to come back and wanted to come say thank you to Project Hope, you know, for the foundation that we put in his life. And, you know, I mean, that is mind blowing. We were so blessed by him. And there's so many testimonies of children that have grown up with us. And then I also wanted to share testimonies of just from last year, some parents who, so what we did last year with our food parcels is on a monthly basis, we provided our children with a food parcel. So every month they received a parcel from us, all 500 of them. We made sure that they all received food parcels. And so at the end of the year, some of the parents came back to us, and one of the moms said she has never seen people care for her children the way Project Hope has cared for her children. And she just wanted to thank us for being there throughout this period. Because I just also wanted to say, what with doing the food parcels, it helped us to stay connected to them. It helped us to just check up on them constantly. How are you doing? Can we pray? Sometimes we would stop and not just give a parcel, but pray over them, pray for the family. And then one of the other testimonies is that the mom said that they would receive, so that parcel that we give won't just be for the child, but it blessed the whole family. And she said every month they knew they would get a parcel and there would always be something to eat for the children. I mean, those are the things that I get emotional just hearing these testimonies. One of the other moms said, so what we did at the end of the year with our Christmas parties, we bought, those of you who are our followers, we bought the bags, the school bags, we had for boys and girls, and then we had for the little ones. And then one of the moms said she's got 3 children in school, and it's difficult for her to be able to buy stationery and all the things that they need for school. And so for her, each one of her children received a bag from us. So she was just so overwhelmed and couldn't thank us enough that her children received bags. And in the bag, what we did is we put, each child got their own toiletry. And this is just something that's close to my heart. I always, whenever we give, I always want to make sure that there's toiletries, because again, it's something that we take for granted. One little girl told me personally, she said she was so excited when she saw her face cloth, because they are 3 sisters and she has to share one face cloth between the 3 sisters. So for the first time, she's got her own face cloth, she's got her own soap, she's got her own toothpaste, and she's got her own toothbrush. How special is that?
Yeah.
And I mean, really. And then we've got another mom who says, she's got 4 kids in our Booysens Park group, and she's just so appreciates the Bible-based teaching that the children receive. She said her children know scripture, her children know how to pray. And I mean, again, that is what we want to do. We want to teach them to be able to stand on God's word. We want to teach them to be able to pray and to be able to trust God themselves as well. And again, the mom said that she had no means of providing her children with the 4 children with a Christmas present, and here Project Hope came and we could give each child a gift.
Wow.
So yeah, those are the things that just stand out. There's so many testimonies. Yeah, when we go to a camp, for instance, we again, we make sure that each child have their own toiletries, and then one year each child received a blanket. And one little boy cried because he's never had his own blanket. He's never had his own blanket. They share a toothbrush. He has to share a toothbrush with his brother, and now he's got his own toothbrush. And so, yeah, again, it's because of generosity of people out there that we be able to be a blessing to these children.
I was just going to say now, because I'm busy reading the comments as they come through, and I see a lot of new names that I don't usually see on a Sunday, and you can see it's the team that supports you and the people that have sown in. I know that there are a lot of secret givers. And also, I love that you make it a community thing. For those that don't follow Project Hope, I know that Madge, when she has her camps, for example, she takes fathers into consideration, and she'll have fathers of Word of Faith come in and teach the boys you know, if I'm not mistaken, Mad, they teach them how to make a fire and do basic things that we don't realize it's things we might have had growing up, and not everybody has that experience. And I know personally, one year I think you used some of us just to share testimonies, and although I couldn't personally be there, I sent through my testimony for that. And I know that some of my fellow Connect sisters also shared, just to be able to speak into young girls' lives. It's such a blessing just to be on the other end. I know you run at the forefront with your team, but for everybody that does so and does involve themselves, even if it's just one Sunday a year, it is such a blessing to be a part of something that little by little makes a difference in our city. So, you know, there's a lot of people, Madge, that are just commending you for your good work and coming into agreement and just saying, wow, you know, God is so good, God of miracles. And it's just awesome. Like I'm feeling this with you. It's really exciting to see Project Hope, and when they do things and when breakthroughs happen for Project Hope. It's so awesome. So, Madge, 2020 is past us. What is 2021 looking like for Project Hope this year?
Sure. Yes. You know, I think one of the things with all the programs that we mentioned, like I said, we're not able to get to our children. And we really, and it was sort of very frustrating for me as running this thing, you know, what do we do now? How do we adjust? What do we do? Because, you know, we are in a place, and I think a lot of people can relate, where you can't really plan ahead. You can basically just plan for 2 weeks, and then we'll see how it goes after the 2 weeks, which makes running an organization very difficult. And, you know, so I've had to, and I prayed and I said, God, well, you know what, this is an opportunity. We can either get stuck in regret and be all upset about what's happening to us, or we can say, God, well, this is opening up an opportunity for us. Like you said, Tess, Project Hope before lockdown was very focused on our children and those that are registered to us. But because of lockdown, suddenly we've become a blessing to the entire city. Suddenly we have doubled the amount of children that we affected last year. And, you know, so, but I needed to adopt a new mindset. And I said, God, you know what? Show me the way forward. We are going to get back to the things that we've done, you know, but we don't know when, and nobody can give us a timeline of when we really can go back there. For now, you know, for now we are on hold with a lot of things. So then God came through, and I discovered 2 organizations that I've been following as well in the city, and programs that they present. And so, without giving too much detail, because I still need to sit, I've got a board. Project Hope has got a full-on board, and I praise God for that board. And I have to sit with them and present everything in detail, and they will give the go-ahead. But I can give you some details. And for number one, what is Project Hope in 2021? We are going to continue to be ambassadors of hope. We are continue to be agents of hope, spreading hope, spreading the gospel of hope to the people out there. And one of the things that we are taking on is a community garden. We are busy in training up people, and we want to help people, children as well as parents, to start a garden, to maintain a garden, and to be able to grow your own food. And we are very, very excited about this, because I do believe that this is an answer to the problem to the problem of hunger and poverty in our city. So this garden, a child will be able to maintain it, to start it, to maintain it, and to grow it. So we're very excited about that. We can't wait to get going and with that. And then the second program that we are looking at it's an organization called the Dignity Campaign. And they've got a program for boys and one for girls. And the one for girls is called the Dignity Day, and then for boys is called the Dare Day. And we've been going for training to the online Zoom training. And what we'll be able to do, our initial plan was to present this at our camps for this year. But it doesn't look like we'll be having camps anytime soon with 80 children. So what we're wanting to do is what we'll be able to take a smaller group of children, smaller group of boys, girls, between the ages of 8 and 30. And we will be able to speak to them about their identity. We'll be able to speak to them about self-esteem, about God's plan and purpose for their lives, about dreaming and helping them dream about the future and putting down goals and things like that. So we're very excited about that. We are going to be doing that this year as well. So where we can't have our Sunday school in the large numbers or homework club, we're not quite sure how we're going to do it this year. We are able to bring at least 10 or 15 children together and present a dignity day and present a dare day. And a dare day would be for boys that age, and a dignity day would be for girls that age. So for now, that's the plan that's set in place, and we thank God for new ideas and new vision for Project Hope. But like I said, whichever way it pans out, we will continue to be ambassadors of hope for the city.
That is awesome. I just want to read a comment here from Chanel Riechenberg. God bless you and keep you strengthened. May God grant you your heart's desires to come into fulfillment in 2021. And they've got hope in capital letters there. I'm just looking at more of the comments coming through. And, we just want to say, Madge, that what an amazing work Project Hope does. And we are so grateful for what Project Hope has been doing in the city. And, I want to just talk about how people can get involved. And I'm just, there we go. We have Madge. I didn't see you for a bit. For those that don't know, we are on a new platform this evening. So it's, we're feeling it out, but I think we're doing okay. Yeah. Do you think we're doing fine?
I think we're doing fine.
I just want to testify personally, as somebody that has sown into Project Hope financially and physically and, in different aspects. I know that there are some people, I don't know all of them, but I know that you have people that are dedicated to the T behind the scenes, and, we commend and bless them. But, for those that are watching and will watch this stream, if this is something that's touching on your heart, and you want to get involved, Madge, can you tell us the various ways that the community can get on board to assist Project Hope?
Sure. Thank you, Tess. Again, with Project Hope Reimagined for 2021, the ways to give has also changed, because previously people would want to get involved with the children, and I would invite them to come along and get involved in our Sunday school and come and tutor with our homework clubs and so on. But it's a different ball game this year, so there's the various ways you can get involved. Number one, we've got monthly debit orders. If you feel you want to give as a minimum 100 Rand a month, and and make it a monthly contribution, that contribution, it would be amazing. It makes all the difference. And we've got our regular debit holders that have been doing it consistently, and we just want to thank you and thank God for that. And if you would like more information about our debit orders, you can send a message to our WhatsApp. The number was on the screen, 067 003 5623, and you can WhatsApp there and just say, I would like a debit order for Project Hope. And I will get all that information, and I will contact you as early as tomorrow and just give you the information you need. Then also, like I said, we're going to continue our food parcels for now. So we are looking for grocery donations. So if you would like to, we can post, and I can send you, if you want information about those grocery donations, basic food stuff, non-perishable food stuff, your baked beans, your pastas, your rice, your oil, peas in a tin, Those are the things. Flowers, another one that we do, maize meal. If you want to, on a monthly basis, buy those groceries and give it to us, we would greatly appreciate it. We will come and collect it from you. And with that, we use that to make up our food parcels, those grocery donations that come in. And then whatever else also come in, we've got a gentleman that's a hunter who's decided that he's going to give, whenever he hunts, he's going to donate that meat to us. So we've got that donation coming in, which is different, and we are so excited about that. But we're able to give that to our soup kitchens that we support as well. So grocery donations. Then, of course, children are going back to school slowly but surely, and they need stationery. So we are needing stationery donations as well. Whatever you can give us, we are thank God for those stationery donations. And again, if you have any of these and if you want to start giving towards us, please WhatsApp that to that number and I will contact you tomorrow. And then also we need toiletries. So if you want to, what I've always said to people, if you want to just include in your monthly grocery shopping, buy toiletries, buy an extra soap for a child, an extra toothpaste, an extra face cloth, or whatever you decide to give. You can include it in your monthly groceries. Extra this, extra that. So let us know if you want to do toiletries. And then also, if you to make it easier for you, you can go onto our website, www.projecthopesa.org.za, projecthopesa.org.za. You can go onto our website and there's an online store. And the online store, you just follow the links. If you want to donate 100 Rand towards buying stationery, you click on the stationery box, or if you want to donate towards groceries, click on the grocery box, or what else is there? Toiletries, you click on the toiletry box and it will come to us and we will be able to buy any of the items that you choose. And then also we receive donations in the form of clothing, children or adult clothing. And yeah, I must just ask that it be clean and in good condition. So, if it's got holes and it looks funny, no, thank you. So all the clothing donations that come in, if there's anything for children, we keep aside for our children and we bless our various children. And we are looking for boys' clothing. We seem to get a lot of girls' clothing in, but not a lot of boys' clothing. So if you've got boys of any age clothing, please keep it aside. We will come and collect it. And what we've also starting to do as regulations lift, we do a monthly jumble sale in the area, in the Bloemendal area. And those donations that come in, we are then able to bless the community. Again, people come in and they can buy a full-on pair of pants for a child for 10 Rand or 5 Rand. We literally do it as a service to the community and it brings in some funds for us. So any household item you have, any clothing item you have in good working condition, contact us, send us a WhatsApp. We will come and collect it for you. We do a jumble sale and we raise money like that as well. Yes, I think I went through all of the different. And then I also say, if there's any retired teachers out there, we are needing your expertise when it comes to our homework club. What are we wanting to do now while we can't be actively involved with children? We want to put as many volunteers as we can through training, so we're needing the teachers to come on board and help us. Tess, I mean, I don't have my own children. I've got 500 of them. When we trying to help a child with their homework, and I haven't done grade 4 homework in forever, then I have to go onto YouTube and look for how to explain bonds or how to explain whatever to a child. So we need some retired teachers to come and help us. If there's any retired teacher out there watching and, they would like to get involved, please send me a message. We can make use of you. We'll definitely use you for training up our volunteers and so on. If there's anybody that would like to get involved with helping us with cooking, we've got a group of amazing ladies who come on board and they help cook for us with our Sunday school and our homework club. So they get every 4 or 5 weeks, they get a turn to cook a pot of food. And I tell you, the children look forward to these pots. It's like they know that Sunday when that auntie is going to cook, and they are excited about that food. So if you've got a passion for that, our ladies are amazing. We'll add you to our list, we'll add you to our group, and we will let you know. For our homework club, we do sandwiches. We provide our children with sandwiches. So if you want to make sandwiches and deliver, so there's a lot that we can do and can't do and can do. But I think the best is contact me and I will direct you how to help.
Yes, I think the amazing thing is that it's not just a financial support. So say you cannot support financially, or you can give a little bit of your time or a little bit of effort. There is so many ways to sow, and I just want to come into agreement with Alma, who said this is good ground to sow in, which I completely agree with. And I also just as we wrap this up, and I just want to thank Madge for everything that they've said. I remember, and I want to put this challenge out there to some connect groups. I know that our connect group personally with Manny and Carmel, we took on Project Hope for a year, where for a year every month we would collect groceries collectively within our connect, and then Manny and Carmel would hand it over to Madge, and then we committed to supporting one of those parties that Madge had mentioned in the beginning for the young children. I think we took them to was it Homely Farm that year?
Farm? It was Homely Farm, yes. No, that was amazing. We were so grateful and thankful for that. That you guys as a connect group came on board, and we through, and remember you organized the games afternoon or something to raise some funds as well, which was a fun afternoon. That was nice. And because of that, we were able to take, I think that was actually our first group of children, little ones that we took out for the day. So yeah, thank you for that.
So there's a reason why I brought that up specifically for connect groups, because I just want to do some house announcements. I know next week we're going to see Madge's beautiful face again, along with Pastor Richard and Pastor Frederick Blignaut and Pastor Mariana Crompton, who are the panel that designs our wonderful Connect outlines. So they will be speaking next week, Sunday at 7. So we can get a little bit of insight of what goes into putting our Connect outlines together, which has gone and changed Port Elizabeth. And from some of the testimonies I've heard, we are impacting other churches outside of our city. So, there's it's work that goes into that. So I want to encourage everybody to watch next week, Sunday, where we're going to be doing like a pre-Connect launch with Madge and Richard and Pastor Fritzy and Pastor Mariana. And then also for the Connect leaders that are watching, we will have a Connect Zoom leaders evening. I just need to double check on my date. I'm sure it's on the 20th, but I will follow up with that shortly. But we will be having for the Connect leaders a Zoom meeting. Unfortunately, due to regulations, we cannot get together and meet as we would have. And that will be just before we launch Connect groups on the week of the 25th of January, which we look forward to. I think, if anything, Connect groups kept a lot of us together during lockdown, and still being able to meet, even if it was on WhatsApp calls or Zoom or whatever the case may be. I think Connect groups personally make such a difference to personal growth. And I know Madge personally shared this morning of how, she ended up in a Connect group at a year-end function, and it was going from there. And then also during the week, we are still running with our 7 p.m. slots on a Tuesday and a Thursday. This week, Tuesday, we will be speaking to Pastor Stephen and Elise Buerter, our WAFBI deans, and we will be hearing how to join Bible College this year and what is happening with Bible College for 2021. And then we will have live praise and worship on Thursdays at 7, which is always awesome. And then look out for next week, Sunday at 9 o'clock online. While we wait for a change in the regulations, we will be continuing with our online church at 9 a.m. next week, where Pastor Richard will be doing a follow-up with You Look Like God Too. Madge, do you have any last words before we say goodbye?
I think it would just be to say thank you. Thank you to the Word of Faith family who has so faithfully supported Project Hope. It's now been 21 years, and we are excited to share and to celebrate 21 years of God's faithfulness. And I want to encourage you to, to keep on giving and to keep on hoping that God is in control. God is in charge. Our hope is in God alone. And everything else, whatever the world throws you. This morning, Pastor Frederick preached such a powerful word of the purpose of pain. And then that when things happen, because we are children of God and we are a people of purpose, that when something happens, there's always a reason it happens. It's to stop and ask God, what is the purpose in all of this? And so as Project Hope, like I said, we are proud to be ambassadors of hope. We are proud to be agents of hope. And so we want to thank you, and we want to encourage you to link up with us and join with us as we make a difference in the city, as we actually do what we say we're going to do, and we see visible change happening within our community and within our city. So thank you. We bless God for every single one of you.
Confirm the Connect Leaders Zoom meeting is on the 20th of January at 7:30, and then Connect groups will begin again on the 25th of January. Madge, thank you so much. I know there's so much more that you can share, and you have endless stories of what Project Hope has done and how it's also just changed you and your team and those that get involved. I just want to comment on, Claudine Reed said, in your giving, you are receiving. And I know for those of us that have sown into Project Hope, it's been such a blessing to us to be able to sow. So as mentioned, if you feel moved by this, get involved. Every little bit counts. Every little bit helps. Your tin of beans, your 10 Rand, your item of clothing in the cupboard changes somebody else's life. And I think it's so important to realize that we are blessed to be a blessing, and to come behind Madge is such a wonderful thing to do. Thank you, Madge, for your faithful service. And may you be super blessed in 2021. May we have even greater testimonies for Project Hope this year. We declare that 100,000 will come in, double portion of the 100,000. But we just want to thank you for that, and that may every door that God has opened in 2020 just multiply. In the name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you, Tess. Amen. Bless you.
And with that, we say good evening and have a blessed week. We look forward to seeing you online this week.